In this video, I'm going to talk about clothes. Are clothes important to people where you live? That's an interesting question, but to be honest, it's one I've never thought about before. I imagine it depends on the age group. For youngsters under the age of 10, I guess not. Likewise for senior citizens. Generally, I don't believe that they are too bothered about what they wear. However, teenagers are probably the age group which is most keen on fashion. I think the major reason for this is peer pressure. If your friends are wearing the latest fashion trends, then naturally there is pressure on you to be seen in the latest gear. When you're asked a question in part 1 or part 3, it's difficult to immediately think of something to say. So you need fillers. You need sentences that can give you thinking time. So I recommend that you make a list of these before you go for your IELTS speaking exam, so you have them ready to use. That's an interesting question, but to be honest, it's one I've never thought about before. I imagine in IELTS speaking you're going to be asked a lot about what you think, and if you keep saying I think, it's not going to impress the IELTS examiner. So here we've got I imagine, I guess not for I don't think, I don't believe for I don't think. And if you look in this answer, there isn't I think used very much. We've got it here, but we've got 3 other alternatives for I think or I don't think. So make sure you use these in the IELTS speaking exam. It depends on. Subject-verb agreement is really important if you want to get above a 6 in IELTS. When we use it needs an S on the verb. Youngsters, in writing and speaking, you are going to be talking about people or writing about people. So it is essential that you have lots of vocabulary to describe people. Youngsters, this means young children. Teenagers, these are children between the age of 13 and 19. Senior citizens, old people. Likewise, this means similarly. Too bothered about, care about. You say, I'm bothered about the environment. It means you care about the environment. However, remember to use linking words because they add organisation for your answer. And the IELTS examiner is listening for organisation words for your coherence and cohesion grade. Is most keen on. To be keen on means to like. Notice the third person singular is used because it's agreeing with this word group, not teenagers. The major reason, the IELTS examiner is looking for your use of collocations. These are words that go together. The major reason. Peer pressure, this is a useful word for IELTS writing and speaking, and it means pressure from your peers. Your peers are people the same age as you. So pressure from your friends to behave in a particular way or dress in a particular way. Are wearing. Remember to use the present continuous if possible to add to your grammatical range. The latest fashion trends. These are the things that are fashionable at the moment. Naturally, obviously. The latest gear. This is quite informal, but it's a very good way in IELTS speaking to describe the latest clothes. How do people decide which clothes to buy? That depends on what kind of person you are. If you are a dedicated follower of fashion, then what you wear is determined by what is in fashion. However, clothes might be purchased for work reasons. For example, if you work in an office, then you might be obliged to wear a suit. Finally, there might be practical reasons for buying certain items, such as if you do manual work, you need clothes that are hard wearing. A dedicated follower of fashion is a person who is heavily influenced by fashion trends and always wants to be seen in the latest gear. Is determined by, is controlled by. We say in fashion, something is in fashion, and it means it's fashionable. Remember to use discourse markers to give your answer organisation. So here we've got however, we've got an example, and we've got finally to show it's the last thing that you're going to say. Might be purchased, might be obliged to. These are modal passives. If you do not know how to use modal passives, then I strongly recommend that you study these before the IELTS speaking exam, because they will really improve your grammatical range. Certain items, this is a good use of referencing, and it refers back to clothes. Manual work, this is work involving your hands, such as a builder. And if you do manual work, you need clothes that are hard wearing. This means they last a long time. They are durable. Would you ever buy clothes for somebody as a present? Definitely not. Clothes are personal, and you could easily offend someone by buying them clothes. What if you bought something and it was too big? They might think you are suggesting they're fat. I'd say buying clothes for others is a definite no-no. The only time I'd buy something for someone would be if I was very close to that person and knew their size. Instead of just starting your answer with a no, make it stronger, make it more emphatic, and say definitely not. To offend means to make someone angry or upset. A definite no-no. This is quite informal, but it's good for IELTS speaking, and it means that something is very unsuitable or unacceptable. Here we've got this second conditional talking about an imaginary situation, and this is a great way to extend your grammatical range. Do you think clothes are too important for some people? As previously mentioned, peer pressure is a key factor, while clothes are vital for some. If you were wearing something that was considered untrendy, then you would stick out like a sore thumb and might get teased or picked on. Clothes can also be used to make a statement. If you are in a job where you are judged by your appearance, then the right outfit is essential to make the right impression. As previously mentioned, when you're going to repeat something that you've already said, use this phrase. Peer pressure. We had this in the previous question, but it's some great complex language. So pressure from your peers, pressure from people the same age in order to behave in a particular way or dress in a particular way. A key factor. This is a good collocation, and it means a major thing. Vital. IELTS examiners are listening for substitution, and this means using different words instead of repeating the same words over and over again. This word means important. It's highly likely that you're going to use the word important at some point in your IELTS speaking or writing exam, so make sure you know alternative words such as vital, essential, crucial. If you were wearing, excellent use of the past continuous here in a second conditional sentence. Was considered, good use of past simple passive. The range of grammar is impressive throughout this answer, And remember, the IELTS examiner is listening for grammatical range. So you need a range of vocabulary. You cannot just speak in the present simple or the past simple. Untrendy. This means unfashionable. To stick out like a sore thumb. This is very idiomatic. And it means everybody notices this person because they're very different from the people or things around them. To stick out like a sore thumb. To get teased. This means people laugh at you or say unkind things about you. To get picked on. To pick on someone means to annoy them or to criticise them. To bully somebody. Close can also be used. This is a great use of modal passive. To make a statement. This is to say something about yourself. So you wear a particular thing to make a statement. To be judged by your appearance. This is to make decisions about people purely based on their appearance. Essential is another word that means important. And to make the right impression, this means to make a positive impact. After watching this video, make sure that you do the vocabulary quiz to ensure that you have learnt the useful vocabulary from this video. Thanks for watching.